Hey, everybody, and welcome to Trailer Jury, where we review trailers and judge them. Today, we've already done the trailer for Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. So we are now doing the actual film. I'm Jay.
And I'm Ren.
Yeah, we just watched this film, The War of the Rohirrim, and in my opinion, it is Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Just retold.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from for that, but I don't remember like a broken alliance and a marriage or any of that in the Two Towers.
No, but it has a lot of the same
Beats?
major story beats.
It does,
So,
yeah. Yeah, so I know what you mean by it was similar to the Two Towers because it's about like broken alliances and like Rohan getting attacked and them refusing to ask for help. Um, there was a lot of the similar beats, but it's been like 20 years, so I missed all of it, and I was so down to experience it all again. And for me, it was more like, I don't know, I found it engaging to think about that even 200 years ago, the world in Middle Earth was still dealing with like the same traumas and dramas, I guess, you know?
the same politics.
Same politics, same bullshit 200 years ago. It's still egos and all that bullshit, you know?
Yeah. So, in the trailer, it does show like the inciting incident. So, one group comes to the Rohirrim, or the king of Rohan, and wants to marry his son to the king's daughter.
Yep. Ask for her hand in
Um,
marriage.
yep. This is the problem I have with this film is that the king says, "No, you only want my daughter to marry your son because you want the throne," which makes absolutely no sense because he has two older sons and the oldest son would become the king of Rohan.
Right.
So marrying off his daughter wouldn't change anything. So it's just egos.
Yes, I definitely think he was looking for like a seat at the big boys table and he thought he could get there with his son. I was also kind of feeling it like the story was implying like, "Oh, if you were in the family, you would find a way to do something to my other children because you have evil eyes." Because the animators chose to give him evil eyes. You can watch the trailer. The man has evil
Because you're
eyes.
drawn as a bad
You're
guy.
drawn as a bad guy. You did the whole thing where like make him look like Jafar.
They've been doing that for centuries. You can always tell who the bad guy is by the way they're drawn.
It's the eyebrows, bro. The eyebrows really were like, I don't know if I can trust him. Now, the graphics and the animation, um, other than like, I guess we should leave it for the spoiler moments. Other than like two specific moments, I was fully engaged in the movie. I forgot I was like, it was an anime. I was very much like in Rohan, dealing with these people and these problems for most of the film. So good
Yeah.
job there with the animation. And I think they used a lot of compositing instead of 3D effects.
The animation for me seemed a little bit more old school,
Talk to me.
in my opinion. It was very rigid, almost looked rotoscoped. So in a lot of animation, you get a thing called squish and stretch, or stretch and
Sure.
squish,
Yeah.
whichever one you get. And this one didn't really have that. So it almost seemed as if they were just drawing onto a reference the entire time. So it was very rigid animation style, which I didn't really have a problem with.
Me
Like
neither.
it's a fairly good looking movie. Um, I wouldn't say that this needed to be a theater release. This could have been released on a streaming platform or straight to DVD type of thing, um, type of animation or type of movie. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, I am glad we got to go to the movie theater and like see it on the big screen with the popcorn and all that and the hammer. I know what you
Yeah,
mean though.
we.
It doesn't feel like it needed to be all that. It could have just been like a streaming release, which they're still gonna do. I just feel like they
Yes.
were able to make more cash by releasing it to the theaters and the hammers and all that stuff, you know? You were able to
Yeah.
turn a profit. And if I'm being completely honest, a lot of these film studios are like struggling post strike, post COVID, just getting back on their feet, so to speak. This if this turns into a good profit, it'll encourage them to like, keep making good movies. So I hope it all
Yeah.
works for them, man.
Oh yeah, I hope that this is successful as well. I would love to see more animated Lord of the Rings properties.
That's what I was literally going
Um,
to ask you in the theater the other day, but I figured I'd save it for on camera. Would you
yeah,
watch more movies with this hero?
yeah, I would. I would like to see what her adventures are.
Can we get into spoilers? Because I feel like I want to jump into the good bits.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Spoilers. Because the movie really just ended with her going off on her own adventure, and I would be down to go see like where all she goes in Middle Earth and how all she helps 200 years ago. Like I would be down to follow this original character you've made.
I am happy to see a story based in the world of Lord of the Rings that isn't directly connected to like the original trilogy or The Hobbit.
Yeah,
I like to see. I like that we're seeing other stories come out of it. 'Cause it's no secret that I did not like Rings of Power,
yeah, I know.
and I feel like this is just exploring just more of the world.
This movie series is doing the thing I was hoping that Rings of Power would have done, where we're just exploring the world instead of adding facts into the world, you know? Even the
Yes.
fact that her story ended with her just like going off into the woods in her own adventure, that says that she didn't affect the world at large or the bigger story, but that she's here and we can like follow her and see what she's up to. Whereas with Rings of Power, they were very much like trying to do beats that were very much part of the main story.
Yeah, it was just a prequel.
Yeah, very much a prequel. Whereas this is like a sidequel. You know, it's just doing its own thing without harassing nobody. More, I'll
Yeah.
take more adventures with Hera. She's also
Yeah,
a
yeah.
reasonable protagonist. My God, her father and Wolf sucked. They were just like typical men as people imagined them to be, you know? Like,
Every leader in this show are the stupidest people. Everything could have been avoided by not being stupid.
right?
Since we are talking spoilers here, the king in this show is built like a fucking brick
Oh,
house.
fuck yeah, dude.
He is fighting trolls single handedly, no weapon, and just beating the living shit out of them.
Um,
So
yeah.
when him and the other leader, I can't remember his name, get into
Fecca.
a
Wolf,
fist fight,
son of Frecca.
a Freka, when Freka and the king go outside to settle their differences like men,
Yeah.
yeah, no shit, you're going to kill him with one punch. Spoilers, he kills Freka with one punch.
In the first 10 minutes of the movie, it just.
Yeah. I only hit him once. You all saw that. Yeah. When you can like fist fight a troll, of course you're going to kill another human with one punch. Like, are you kidding me?
Speaking about the king and his goddamn punches, did anybody else go watch this movie in D-Box?
Oh my god.
Or I mean 4DX. Oh my god. Oh my god. Because speaking about the King's Punches, 4DX is where the seats move and sway, and there's like effects to go along with the movie. And there are sequences when they're on horses and like bridges are falling. I shit you not, the bridge falling felt like nothing on my chair compared to when the king punched. I literally felt like I was Freka, and I felt like this man was beating me to death.
Yeah, he almost knocked me out of my chair.
You are a big dude. You are like 6'4". Yeah, you are flying around. I've never seen you get thrown around like that. Like,
I was a little concerned. I kind of wish my chair had one of those seatbelts in it.
I thought a good sway and you would fall on me.
And we all died at the movie theater. Never doing that again.
There was one particular scene where, what do you call the elephants? I want to.
It would be an elephant.
It's just elephant. I thought they had like a weird name in Middle Earth, like
Oh, they probably do, but it's an elephant.
it's like Elephanta or some weird. There's one part where an elephant gets eaten by the Watcher in the water, and you could really feel that elephant being eaten on like the D-box chairs. I could feel that elephant going up my ass. It was so effect heavy. It was awful. I felt a little assaulted.
A little violated.
A little, yeah. Who directs the chairs? No, I'm like genuinely asking. Is it based on some person at the theater? Do they choose the effects? Is it the movie theaters? Is it Warner Brothers? Who decided the effects on these chairs? Because that was just awful.
It would be some engineer. He was probably in the credits.
I'm gonna read the credits.
You were an evil,
You're a bad
evil
person,
man.
and you were trying to hurt grandmothers and small children. Cause what the fuck, man? Elephants up your asses. Kings actually punching you when you're trying to watch a movie. Jay, I saw your popcorn flying out. Like
Yeah, I had to put my popcorn down.
you're a big dude, and your shit was flying everywhere. Who engineered this? I was literally
we'll
picturing
find
like
out.
a small child watching this movie or an old lady in like 4DX, and I'm like, this is insanity.
They would have died.
Yeah, I'm never doing 4DX again. Yeah. That's my rambling bit.
All in all, I think the story was pretty good. Although it was very similar to The Two Towers in the way it played out.
Since we're in the spoiler section, explain to me why you thought it was similar to the Two Towers, beat by beat.
The things that make it very similar to The Two Towers, there were the King of Rohan,
Yeah.
who was very stubborn,
Yep.
and he knew he was going to war.
Yeah.
He refused to ask Gondor for help
Again.
in both films.
Yep.
They had to abandon their main city
And go to Helm's
escape
Deep.
to Helm's Deep.
You're right. That's a very fair point. The cousin was kicked out of the city again.
Yep. So one of the loyal members of the court, which is the nephew of the king, spoke out against what the king was doing. The king half-ass banishes him, but not really. He just sends him off to go guard some section of the land.
Well, his exact instructions were like, I want you to go to the far edges of the country and dig trenches so that when we go to war, your name won't be in the history books because you're digging trenches.
Yeah, which is kind of dumb because he's blood
Yeah.
and the most loyal of all your subjects. And he gets betrayed by some of his other ones.
It worked as a beat in the story because their army entirely got ransacked and he was the only cousin far enough to be able to come back and help without. But yeah, absolutely the same beat. Absolutely the same
Yeah,
beat.
so they send off part of their army. They have to escape to Helm's Deep, be sieged against in Helm's Deep, and then lo and behold, the other army comes back, comes down the exact same hill Gandalf does.
Yeah, he
and
did.
comes and saves the day. But I also like to point out, I think the Eagles in
Yeah.
this, Eagles, uh,
Eagles.
were kind of pointless. They were really heavy in the trailer, but I don't think they really served a purpose in this.
No, they just came in and like saved. Not even saved at the end of the day. They just kind of were like
They were used as a
they
messaging
were a pigeon.
service to go get the other army back, which could have been like that was Gandalf's role in the Two Towers.
Yes.
So it was Gandalf and the Eagles played the exact same role.
But since we all shit on the Rings of Power for doing too much with the series and the story at large, I'm going to say they played it safe by just rehashing the same beats from the Two Towers. And I would rather you do that and give me like a new movie with similar beats than you just upending the whole thing and just trying out new shit.
It's always good to do that to reintroduce people to the world in a safe way. But then the next movie, you
Yes.
can't do that. You kind of have to go off and do the thing.
100%.
I always use Star Wars as an example with Episode 7 being the exact same story that we've seen before, and then they completely go off the rails afterwards.
Sure.
It was, I liked 7 because it was a safe reintroduction.
Yeah.
But then they disregarded everything, and we're not going to get into that today.
Copy that. But okay, so that brings up back to my point. You're hoping this is the start of a franchise. And that if we keep going down this road, the other movies won't be. I mean, there really isn't any other movie they can copy. Hera can't be in like a Frodo situation.
No.
So if they are going to go forward with this as a franchise, they'll have to be original going forward. This was the only time you could play it safe. And I don't blame you for playing it safe. It worked. You made some money. You showed us a new character. And if the feedback is good, give us more Hera. She was cool, man. I liked her.
She was good. She was smart.
She was reasonable.
Yeah, she was a good protagonist.
Where the fuck are reasonable people?
The one thing, though, I did not like about the ending is, well, during the film, the Shield Maidens kept coming up. They were like a clan of warrior women that kind of had to take over and protect Rohan when all the men died in war. So they were talking about getting rid of their sigils because there were no Shield Maidens left, although there was still one left in the movie who played a major role and who was close to the protagonist.
Yeah.
And at the end of the film, I generally thought that she would go and kind of restart the Shield Maiden.
Oh, instead of just going on the adventure with Hera?
Yeah, instead of just leave, or no, like Hera, like I wanted to see restart the Shield Maidens. Maybe she'll do that in another movie. But I felt like that's where it was going toward.
If they went down that road, it's counterintuitive to all the points we've made so far. If she was the Shield Maiden, movie 2 would be her playing like the traditional female role, standing guard to the king, which would not be a fun movie to watch.
Well, no, like the Shield Maidens wouldn't just be just like a King's Guard type of thing. They're their own like warrior group.
So she would still be just off on her own adventure?
Yeah, like restarting the Shield Maidens. So she would be like gathering other people and like rebuilding that clan.
Maybe that is movie 2 then.
I would love to see that.
And for the sake of inclusivity, they'll also have like hobbits and dwarves in the Shield Maidens of Rohan this time. Because she's traveling all of Middle Earth. Who knows who she'll meet, you know?
I think I only saw maybe one dwarf in this entire movie.
I don't think I saw a single dwarf. Where'd you see a dwarf?
Yeah, I think he was mixed in with the wild men at one point when they were at Isengard.
Wow, okay, so like Wolf was just able to get one dwarf.
Just one dwarf.
Just one really shitty dwarf who's just like, fuck it. I'll side with the wrong guys. Did you say gold? I heard you say gold.
Yep, gold money. I'm there.
And I'm gonna Google it right now before I'm saying it. Luke Pasquiliano. Oh, okay. It sounded like Rob Stark to me. It sounded so much like Rob Stark.
It was very similar, yes.
He is a British actor. Look at that. All Brits sound the same to me.
Racist. Yeah, so both Billy Boyd and Dominic Monaghan, Merry and Pippin, played the only two orcs in this film, and I thought that was tremendously funny.
It was funny,
Yeah,
especially the part where they got beaten to death by the king.
yeah, just punched to death.
Billy Boyd and Dominic Monaghan got punched to death by the king of Rohan, and we felt every punch in our chairs.
Yeah,
We felt them die beneath their butts. It was awful.
I I don't know whether it was the stupid D-box stuff that we had to endure during this film, but I still had a lot of fun during it because a lot of a lot of the characters make really dumb choices, and we went with people who have really stupid senses of humor,
Yes.
and I think we made our own fun during the movie,
Yes.
just making fun at these dumb parts. So I ended up having a really good time just because we were making fun of the movie a lot.
Two more spoilers. The two parts of the movie I didn't like. All right. These were the only parts of the movie I felt were more anime than Lord of the Rings. There was an old lady at Helm's Deep, like
Oh
the
my God, yeah.
caretaker. At first, I wanted to blame the voice actor, like maybe she was overdoing it. But no, the animation shots of like her old witch nose and zooming up her like boils, it was too much. It was very weird. It was like that part. I didn't enjoy the old lady, felt very like anime character to me. And the part where the king died in front of the gates of Rohan, frozen to death, looking like Jack from The Shining, just with a like a crazed expression on his face.
Yeah.
And Jay brought this up, and I've been thinking about this. He was punching everyone to death. We felt it in our chairs. But when he was frozen to death, he had his king's hammer, the same hammer we all got for popcorn, in his hand. How?
Yeah, that hammer was left behind, so I don't know how it came back. And that's
Yeah.
probably one of the only major continuity errors
It
that I
was.
saw.
It was a pretty solid movie except for that part. Like the whole sequence was he's escaping with his daughter. They're under equipped. He gets her through the gate. He closes the gate so that like they're safe inside. He's got nothing except his fists.
Yeah.
Why'd you throw in the fucking hammer for his frozen shot? I get it. It didn't even look cool. He looked like Jack from The Shining. I can't get over. It was the teeth.
Yeah. And once again, stupid mistakes because they could have saved his life. But no, they decided just to go with the I'm going to sacrifice myself for everybody type of story beat.
Well, going forward for sequels and stuff, I don't think he would have been useful.
No, they had to kill
If-
him off at some point.
Yeah.
He
make
started all of it.
cousin the king and allow Hera to go on her own adventure. For a minute, because it's an old school movie, I thought she was going to have to like marry her cousin.
I thought that was going to happen as well at one point. I'm like, oh, please don't. Please don't. So the editing in this, it's pretty good. I thought the pacing was a little slow. Like the film could have been like a 20 minutes shorter, in my opinion. That could have just been me being tired of a chair punching me. But the music in there was pretty good. It did have a lot of music you would hear from Lord of the Rings, which is nice and nostalgic to listen to. So, story, decent. Could have been a little shorter. Visuals, good. A lot of stupid things. Music, good. I enjoyed this film. The trailer accurately predicted what the movie was going to do. Although I thought they would have used the eagles more for this film from what I saw in the trailer. But
Which
all
means
in
our
all,
skit was hilarious.
our skit went a little over the top with the eagles.
But on point because they were overshowing the eagles and they underutilized them, which
Yeah,
was exactly our joke.
yeah. But I definitely I enjoyed this film and I would like to see more of it. So that's my take.
I agree with the music part. Yeah, it was super awesome. You didn't need to do much. You just needed to give us the same scores at the same beats, which you did, and I loved it. Overall, the trailer was authentic, didn't ruin anything for me. I kind of wish I guessed that the father would have been dead from the trailer. They did kind of leave that in there. I just missed it. Go watch the movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's definitely a watch.
Don't forget to leave a comment and give us your verdict on the movie. And yeah, please like and subscribe.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
Bye.